That's cool.
Hey, Hollywood, if you're listening in right now, you know who this guy is. New York, if you're listening in right now,
Yep.
you knew who this guy was.
He's the party starter.
But whatever you knew, erase that because he's brand new right now.
Oh, brand new.
Yeah.
Okay, we gonna act like we don't know.
Wow. So, dancer,
Yes, sir.
club promoter.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
that's it. Oh, sorry. Just had a moment.
See,
I
people
did.
right
I
now that are
did.
listening,
I
they're having
did.
their moment right now.
Yeah.
It just hit me right now.
But
Flashbacks of MTV's
Shelter.
The Grind. Oh, Shelter.
Shelter.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes, it is.
Shelter.
Privilege, Shelter, all
I
that.
remember
Yep.
now.
Damn, that's
There's
crazy.
a
Yo.
big dance floor, and there's
Dance.
people in the middle of it.
Yes, talcum
Yeah.
powder.
How's the guy?
Yes, I had my shit.
talcum powder
How you
night.
doing? Yes. I
I remember that night.
That's
Shelter.
crazy.
I mean,
There
he
you
just,
have it.
he
Just
just
said
went
it.
back to
I remember.
2002,
It's
3-ish.
2 and 3.
were you
yes.
in New York then?
2 and 3. That was me. Yes.
Jeez.
We was in the shelter. We had our little dance circles.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I met this
Yep,
cat. I could not remember
100%.
what it was,
Yeah.
but that's where I met you.
Exactly what happened.
Anybody
That's
else in this
crazy.
room knows this guy? Speak now. Speak
I
now.
just figured
There
it
it
out.
is.
I just figured it out.
Nice to
No
see you,
joke.
Ricky.
That was me.
Yeah.
I was out there doing my thing with
Yeah.
you and cutting up and yes.
Yeah, it was me, Paris Paul, a big
Yep.
crew of people. And we just,
Indeed.
yeah, we,
Yes. Oh shit. That
as
was
the kids
my
would say these
time.
days, we turned it up.
He's sweating more
I am
now.
sweating more.
This is also the age of like when nightclubs in Hollywood were just still celebrity safe.
Yeah.
Paparazzi wasn't killing it. The class of people were amazing. Disposable
Yes.
income was still at a place of just like
It was
That
still
part.
it
a
was
thing.
before bottle service existed as well. Like bottle service hadn't hit LA
That's
yet.
very true, yeah.
So people went out to dance, meet people, and have a great time. That's it.
Right.
It wasn't. No one had their phone on them. No
No
one was
snappers.
doing that.
There
It
was
was
no
actually back in the
snappers.
day when people were actually taking pens and napkins from the bar, asking bartender. That's like.
Can I
that's
get your
the-
number?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
real.
you're kind of hot.
How you doing?
So I'm Shawn Antonio.
Yes.
Do you
And
want
then
to
you
have
throw it up
sex
to
with
your
me?
boy like,
It was like that. Yeah.
What's that?
One time I walked up to a guy. I think it was gay.
It was you?
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was back in
that
the
was the
rainbow
day.
days.
Yeah, that was the days. Those were the days of Hollywood that are still being celebrated today that don't exist anymore.
Wow.
They just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
A couple years before I met you, Jerry.
Yes, yes. I came in at like the height of
Yes,
things.
you did.
It
You
was-
walked
it was-
in, to a China shop and just bulls running around. Just
Yeah.
Shit was out of control. Yes.
Wow.
2005, 6-ish, 7-ish were the golden years of Hollywood, and now
Yeah.
it's not that. But back then it was,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
nights I would throw events, and I'm like, wow, this is my party. This is, whoa. And that person's dancing here, and that, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And Journey behind the microphone, behind DJ booth, you and Sturge, actually, back in those days.
Yeah.
Is
And,
that how you guys met?
Yes.
You were
Yes. He was
DJing
in-
one of his clubs.
Yes.
Oh, no, he
in-
was my guy. He was
Yes.
one of my
Oh.
resident DJs.
Where? What spot?
Journey spun for me at Red Pearl Kitchen for my 33rd birthday 10 years ago. You spun for me at Spider Club for a year
You
and a
know you
half
told
as my
on
resident
yourself,
DJ. Yeah,
Okay.
43.
Okay. I just want-
This
I
small.
like 43. It's
Okay.
it's
Me
good.
too.
Yeah.
We
Fun.
the same age.
Yeah,
You
nice.
look older than me though.
It's the beard. It's the beard.
No, it's
It's the wisdom. But yeah, Journey was one of my resident DJs. He spun for me all over LA. I mean, for almost 3 years till you moved to New York.
New York, yeah.
So name a nightclub in Hollywood from 2004-ish, end of 4-ish till about 8-ish.
Yeah,
And Journey
yeah.
spun everywhere I did. And he also came to Vegas for me. And you did that random one night. We were in Vegas and I needed a DJ. Last minute we got what club was handed to us at MGM? It was right next to the Italian place. I forget the name of the spot, but long story short, Journey was asleep. I said, hey, man, you're sleeping, but I need you to get up and we're going to pay you. You're going to DJ. He's like, what? I'm like, yep, you're coming up and DJing. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, what am I doing? I'm like, you're just going to DJ. So he gets up and, I brought you to your hotel room. And
And you don't know, you do not know why I was tired.
I don't.
You were at the Rio, right? And I was like, oh shit. I took a bus to Vegas, right? Greyhound.
Oh shit! You wasn't even in Vegas.
No,
when he
I
called
wasn't
you?
even in Vegas. I took a Greyhound.
Oh, I'm
to
finna
old,
come to Vegas.
Old Town
Like,
Vegas.
What damn?
And I was like, oh shit, Sean's at the Rio. I'm gonna walk there.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
your gear.
Walk to the Rio.
Oh, yeah, back in those days.
It's
Gear.
skyscraper buildings. You can see everything. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that shit looks
Right,
really,
right,
really
right.
close. You were
And
at
where were
dinner.
you?
I was at dinner, yeah.
I was in Old Town Vegas, like
Downtown,
downtown.
yeah.
Like
yeah,
Fremont,
yeah.
off
You know,
of
that's
Fremont.
about like
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
miles, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's about 10 miles.
I walked from downtown Vegas to the Rio, By the time I got to you, you were all hyped at dinner. Everybody's there. I'm coming in. I'm all dusty and shit. The bus broke down. The bus broke down.
Yeah. Wow.
They had to come get. We were in the middle. I don't know where the hell it was, but we were in the middle at trip to Vegas. Man, I'm getting goosebumps and I'm getting emotional now because I really wanted to be there. And make a long story short, I went to go. He's like, hey, here's my room key. Go rest. Shower up. I couldn't even shower. He's like, hey, dude, I got a video. I have a place for you to be. I'm tearing up, man. I'm tearing up here, man, because, dude, it was so much, man.
There's a lot.
I'll stop there. I'll stop
we
there,
pretty much
man.
took over that night.
I'll stop there, man.
Thank you for that, Jordan. I'll never forget that night.
Thank you. It was a hell of a night. With a
Crazy.
cherry on top, man.
Right on.
Okay, Lester.
That's
So where
cool.
do you
So
know
much.
him at? Because
Go ahead.
we didn't already got
It's the first time I meet this gentleman here.
Well, make the
I
connect.
felt like
'cause this cat is off
I've
the
met him
chain.
somewhere though.
We'll be hugging, Ben.
nervous.
We'll be hugging.
Hey, so let's go into it. Shawn, for the people that don't know, because I know we're taking a trip down memory lane.
Of course.
Where are you from?
So I'm actually Panamanian and Dutch, half Dutch,
Okay.
half Panamanian. But I was born in New York. My parents had me in New York on purpose because being Panamanian and Dutch back in the 60s for my parents, it was hard for them to kind of get their legitimate like paperwork and the whole nine. So they actually planned to have me in America on purpose.
Oh wow!
Just so I can have that dual citizenship and the whole nine, so I don't have to deal with all that.
Yeah.
So I was raised in Panama for a long time. With my grandparents was amazing years of my life, just influential and beautiful. Grew up around music and salsa and dance and all that good stuff. So that was my life, And then my Dutch side of the family, that's the predominant side of the family. There's about 400 of us. My mom is the youngest of 12 kids.
Wow.
Like the youngest of 12.
Tribe.
So it's amazing. So my family on my dad's side, we come from Spain, Ethiopia, Brazil, Colombia, and Panama.
So you know Spanish.
Speak.
Yeah, of course. It's my first language. And then my second is Dutch, and then my third was English.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Right.
Looking
English
like
better.
this.
I'm looking
right?
at you like nah.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Then my mom's side of the family would come from France and Holland. And from Holland, we went to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, which are Dutch provinces in the Caribbean. And then we have some splashes of Dominican Republic and also St. Martin as well. A ton of actually we got family in St. Martin too. So yeah, my family's all over the place. So I look like everything, Like,
That's
I
cool.
just didn't
No,
fit
that's
in
cool.
anywhere. I'm like, okay, I belong to everything, like that. So I never had a crisis of conscience. I just started being who I am and started doing stuff, and that's it, living life and just doing it.
Your energy, man. You got an energy that just keeps going. You know what I'm saying?
This is me mellow.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Never
I
seen
remember
this
on the
guy.
dance floor you kept moving, but I'm just saying, you still got that energy, man.
Just
it's awesome.
Life. Thank you for that compliment. It's just, it's a gift to be alive. I think we take that for granted.
That's
And
very true.
we can go down that rabbit hole later on, but it's just, we forget to live life being present today.
Yeah.
Because all that matters is today. But we're so busy being caught up in the past and what we did yesterday, and then in the future, what we're worried about, we're never actually here in our lives.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I'm always here.
Wow. So being everything, because you named a lot of cultures that's in there. What was your passions growing up, being around everything?
My family was very alive, very, like how I am alive, like you were saying, Keith. My family threw a lot of cool parties and stuff. So my mom's side of the family and dad's side of the family, we grew up with a lot of music. So a lot of musicians in my family. They grew up around everything from Chuck Mangione to like Tito Puente to like Celia Cruz. So I grew up on all the greats of like salsa, all types of different soul and funk because my parents got into American music too.
Yeah.
But then in Panama, we had one channel that was a rock channel. It was an American channel. And that's how I practiced my English when I was actually in Panama. Yeah. And so I grew up playing drums. I started playing drums at a young age. And a lot of punk rock bands influenced like my world. So here I am, a black, Hispanic, Dutch kid dancing salsa, but listening to rock and roll, So
That's
talk
dope.
about a cliche.
all mixed up.
So yeah, you're familiar with conjuntos then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's
Yeah,
a
It's a mix.
conjunto?
That's a
It's pretty much like a jam. It's a jam
session.
band. It's a
So
jam
it's
band.
like, it's like
jam
Ozo
session.
Motley. So if like Ozo Motley, that'd probably be the closest conjunto. It's like a mixture of different rock bands. And like you take a rock element and an R&B element.
Juntos.
Conjunto means to put together. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like a jam band. So
Did you really
Yeah.
know what it was, Keith, or you just...
No, I know Spanish too.
I know what
you what I'm saying?
kahuna is.
he likes he likes Spanish girls.
Kahunas.
Kahunas.
Kahuna. That still ain't a word, man. Fired.
You were doing this.
No, I said Juntos together.
He likes that Spanish
But
word.
that's what it's all about. Like,
Yeah.
if you play instruments like in Latin American countries, it's all about getting together and playing
Jamming out.
conjuntos,
Yeah.
jam out.
Yeah.
Jam out.
Jam out.
Yeah, so I got inspired by a lot of people growing up. I just watched, what I did is I took a lot from everybody I grew up around and just kind of designed my own human.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could kind of, say who I am. It's like I saw people growing up, my aunts and uncles and cousins and whatever. I took little pieces of everybody and just kind of became who I decided to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, kept growing and evolving and asking questions. I was always a big question asker, still today.
Yeah.
If I don't know something, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to, excuse me, question, like that. I think it's the thing that makes you a well-rounded human being. You just kind of get to learn. And I was saying earlier on about how it's so much fun to learn people. Because people are fun if you allow them to be.
Absolutely.
Right.
If you show up with that attitude of fun in a room, it's just going to reverberate and create that energy. So why not be that in your life all the time? So I grew up with that mentality at a young age, and it just kind of stuck, and it worked for me. And it's just who I am anyway. So it just, why not? And then life just started happening. Stuff just started. I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. Life is fun. And things happen, of course, but,
Absolutely.
decided you are.
So you did some time in Miami, right?
I did Miami for 10 years, actually, from
10 years.
1988 to 1998. I got back from Panama,
Yeah.
and I was in New York for about a year and a half or so, and then my mom decided to move us to Miami. Done with New York. She was just done with, like, the hustle and bustle of New York.
Yeah.
And her cousin, Carlos, my uncle Carlos, he was in Miami, and
So-
she made a call.
So that's where you finished high school then.
That's where I did junior high school. I skipped a couple grades because in Panama, our schooling is so crazy and awesome that the education level is so crazy. So when I came back to New York, I took a equivalency test and I skipped 2 grades. So I actually graduated when I was 16 years old. But in Miami, I went to Madison Junior High for 9th grade, and then I did 10th, 11th, 12th. But I skipped 5th. Like I did half a year of 5th, and I skipped 8th grade. So it's kind of a cool thing being this, young kid. Just
You have a
moved
good
to Miami.
memory, too. I've been like, man, what was I
Brian has
doing
a
in fifth
memory
grade?
like an elephant, man.
I remember everything, Lester. It's a gift, man. It's I think memory is important. It's important to remember things that matter to you in life, and I feel like like I said again, we're so busy being somewhere else, we're never present to the moment. It's cool to look back at your life and say, like, I can remember my 9th grade first day of school. And what that looked like. Didn't know anybody. Predominantly Cuban, splash of black. And here comes this black Hispanic, the only one in the entire school. Talk about standing out. I'm like, all right,
Crazy.
let me do something cool, get straight A's, do something that just and I just figured life out, But yeah, growing up in Miami was cool, 10 years. And I got some stories about Miami.
We'll do that off air.
Yes, we will. Yeah, Miami was great. Miami's back in the 90s, 88 to 98. It was the nightlife was different. The people were different. The drug economy was crazy. I grew up with a bunch of drug dealers, and one of my best friends, his brother was the #1 cocaine dealer in all of Miami. The guy was doing like $100,000 a week back then.
Wait, what's his name?
He got
No.
For the movie Blow.
no, Escobar. But I do know the Escobars. That's a whole other story from Vegas. That's a whole other.
No, it was the guy that the movie Blow was about. That guy.
Yeah.
The white dude.
Yeah, wasn't that it was about Pablo Escobar, wasn't it?
No.
The first one? No. It was about
What is that?
What's his
yes,
name?
Yes, I know you're talking about. I forget his name.
He
About to
he got
cheat,
released
Google this.
like 2 years ago.
What's his name? I forget.
Fact
But yeah,
check.
I forget, but it'll come.
But yeah, that's
back to
crazy.
back to the
Yeah.
whole point is that Miami was an epicenter of culture and love, and it was just a lot. So as a kid, you just got taken out to clubs and restaurants and bars, and it just everyone was all inclusive back then.
Yeah.
People were really loving and inclusive, so that was fun growing up in that environment.
Dope.
Yeah, really dope.
That's dope.
Wow. So did you move from Miami to LA? Or,
Yep. I was dancing,
go?
as I was sharing before. I started professionally dancing when I was about 12 years old.
Okay.
I started teaching dance when I was about 14. Everything, because I expanded. So I did all the Spanish styles, flamenco, cha-cha-cha, rumba, salsa. And then from there, I got kind of bored. So I went into like ballet and tap and jazz and lyrical. Lyrical became my jam. So I mixed lyrical with hip hop, and that became a thing. That became like my thing.
Yeah.
And I started a dance company in Florida, and I did really well for a while, from 96 to 98, and it was fun. But then I did Miami. Like I was saying, I can't say, well, I will say, but I won't disrespect the show and say the things we did in Miami. But I did Miami. The cars at, 22 years old, I had 2 cars and bought my first house with my mom and made a bunch of money and, did all the things Miami had to offer, all the water sports and all the fun things that Miami was.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Then I came to visit LA in 1998, in August of 1998. My uncle Omar, huge model agent.
Shouts to Omar, yeah.
He's still
Omar.
Yeah, he's
He's
amazing
still doing his
human.
thing?
Yeah, I talked to him a couple weeks ago. He's always reinventing himself. So
Omar, he was working with Beats for
my
a bit,
cousin
right?
Omar is Beats. My uncle
Okay.
Omar is the modeling world. So my cousin Omar just left Beats. He was the number 3 employee.
Yes.
He got
I
pretty
remember
wealthy
that.
after they got bought out.
Yeah.
Is that Omar 1 and 2?
He has Omar 1 and 2. So it's Omar, my uncle,
Okay.
and Omar, my cousin.
son of.
Different dad.
that
My uncle
confused.
Tony was his dad. So Uncle Omar is modeling world, and Beats is Omar, which he is crushing.
I always
life.
got that confused. I'm like, Omar.
Yeah, because they used to show up. They used to
Yeah,
show
yeah.
up to our events and
Yeah.
say hi. But I came out here and I just, I saw a little different side. I was like, what would it be like to
Yeah.
move to LA and, not be known as just a dancer? Because for my whole career, the last 2 or 3 years in Miami, it was like, oh, it's Shawn, he's the dancer. Like, and I did all these shows and it was fun. But I wanted to be known as something else, not just, hey, Shawn, dance. That's what you do.
Shows with artists or like
Everybody.
just kind of.
Well, I was on MTV's The Grind for a bit. Eric Nice is an old friend of mine from the real world, year one.
that.
Yeah, and Eric came up to me at a club in New York. I was dancing at I forget what club in New York. It was in the middle of 42nd Street, Club USA. And he walked up and he's like, hey, Shawn, I need you for this show. It's called MTV's The Grind. I'm like, oh, yeah, downtown Julie Brown thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll come in. So he shot in Miami, and I did about 18 episodes, and it was fun. And then it inspired me to, start my own dance company, and it kind of took off from there. But Miami was cool, but I just was ready for something different. And
How old were you when you started your dance company?
I was 21, and then I kind of wrapped it up at 24, and then I moved here. So I had it for about 2.5 years, and I had about 200 employees. But it was like a circus. We had like a circus. We had trapeze artists. I had little people. I had contortionists. I had to get smart about that.
Wow.
We had
Little people.
we had contortionists. I had sleight of hand magicians. I had samurais. I had all types of different people who flew through the air. It was amazing. We had like a circus. And back at the nightclub I most recently had my dance company at, we would do shows all the time. I don't think I ever really told you this. But we did for 2 years. I was the in-house entertainment for the Chili Pepper brand. And we had 4 Chili Peppers in Florida. So I was the entertainment guy who did all the shows for all the Chili Peppers. So some of my dancers would go out to Orlando and then go out to Coconut Grove and do a show there, and I'd be running the Philadelphia area, and it was great. It started off with like 5 or 6 of us, and then it just keep evolving into something. And then I started holding auditions every Tuesday, and like people would roll in.
Wow.
And the audition, there'd be lines out the block for people. Hey, I'm a contortionist. I can do this. I can swallow a sword, and it was kind of cool. It was like here I am, 21 years old, own dance company. It was like it was fun.
Hey,
Jeez, so
there's nobody right now that I've met who has had a life from 20. Let's take it back to 16 up to fucking now, dog.
So you caught a spark. What was that?
Well,
you felt?
I came out when I came out in August of 1998. I just saw a different element. I mean, I went out to Garden of Eden. I was just sharing with Keith. I went out to Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden was one of the hottest spots back then, right? So my uncle Omar puts me on the list, and he's like, "Shawnee, come out to this night." And I go to it, and I'm VIP, and the door person knows I'm coming, so I walk in.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. I'm 24 years old, and I walk into this place, and it was just celebrities everywhere. It was like I walked in, there's Mariah Carey, and there's Wesley Snipes, and there's all these people I saw on TV, And in Miami, we had our staple celebrities back then were Mickey Rourke, Tiger Woods, Katie Lang, Madonna, Sylvester Stallone. Those were our staples. Will Smith, see them all the time. Like, oh, there goes Will Smith. Like it was normal. So here I am in this one room, and it was just all celebrities. Like it was like that one night I went out to Dublin's. It was like that. I walked in, it was like the Backstreet Boys were right next to NSYNC, and then Marilyn Manson was over here. And I know some of the guys. I know Marilyn Manson. They're old friends of mine from Florida. Yeah. And they're sitting next to Sean Penn. They're like, hey, meet my friend Sean. And I'm like, oh, you're Sean Penn. Yeah, I know you are. Like, wow. But the spark was, I just, I came out here and I thought it was something different, and I saw everybody doing what they loved and doing well at it. Yeah. Financially, they were challenged, they were growing, and I just heard some really great stories that night I was out. And that week I was here for 10 days. I did 7 days in LA, 2 days in San Fran, and then 2 days in Vegas, so 11 days. Yeah. And I just loved the stories I heard, that people were actually doing what made them happy. And a lot of my friends were falling into that rhythm in their 20s, early 20s, of getting that day job, marrying that person, the 2.5 kids, the status quo. And that I've never been status quo. I didn't understand that. Yeah. So I'm like, why would I stay in a place that's going to put me in a status quo conversation? Yeah. And I knew as a dancer, I'd met some of my iconic dancers I got inspired by. I knew as a dancer, I have a shelf life. Like I'm going to break something and then that's it, right? Luckily, I never broke anything. But we have a shelf life as dancers. So
Yeah.
I was like, how long can I dance? I've been dancing for 12 years, crushing it. So what's next? And yeah, LA just was like sparkly to me. I was like, all these people, they're all pretty and fun. I want to touch everybody. And I came out here and I touched
LA.
everybody. It was great.
That's true.
Yeah. So LA just really inspired me to challenge myself because why not? You know?
So how long did it take for you to actually get here? Like after that experience?
3 months, actually,
months?
almost a day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
This
It
is
was.
like me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I came back and literally this obviously sounds exactly like your story. It's like I came back probably around this time, around August-ish, this time back to Florida, and I looked around my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I got my cars. And back then, I was making $72,000 a year. That's good money back then, and house and cars and, all the girls I wanted and all, it's just, but I was bored. And that's a problem I have in my journey in this lifetime. I get bored a lot. That's why I do so much, because I get inspired, do something really well, then I get bored.
Yep.
So I came out and I saw something different, and I was like, all right, let me try LA.
Yeah.
And just figure it out. And, I fell down a bunch of times, and it was fun. And I learned, and just like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it was just great. But I'm that kind of person. I love to fall down and then figure it out.
And a fall in LA, it's cool because the sun is still shining.
Right?
It doesn't even feel like a fall. It's okay, I can just go to the beach.
I skinned my knee a little bit.
Totally.
I'm good.
The vitamin, it's the sun. I think vitamin
Right?
D kind of cushions your fall a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought,
you fall in New York, you're damn near homeless. It's like, okay,
That's true.
You're snatching purses in the subway.
Well, because when
That's
you
true.
fall, somebody step on the back of your neck. So.
It's like,
Yeah, and I thought LA was like a nice mix of Miami and New York. I liked the fact that the weather was amazing here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as hot as Miami, humid, which there's no humidity here, right?
Yeah.
And then in New York, everybody's doing something. And I found in LA, everybody was doing something. So I was like, oh, wow, this is like Miami and New York where I grew up. Oh, let's just mash it together and make it happen.
Right.
So it was great.
So when you first
go ahead.
when you first moved here, did you start off dancing or did you jump straight into club promotion?
Actually, not at all. I did. My friend Tony Michaels, he was on tour with who was on tour? I think he was on tour with Jennifer Lopez at the time, and he had come off tour, and he's like, "Hey, Shawn, come take a dance class with me at Crunch on Sunset." I go to dance class. He was actually the lead choreographer TLC's No Scrubs, so I was actually in that like choreography studio with that video, and I was going to actually be in it, but I ended up not doing it because they toured and blah, 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 right? So I did find dance, and I found all my people, all my dancers, but it just didn't speak to me anymore. I was just done. When you're just done with something, you're just done. Like not like over, like I still have the talent, like I can still dance and do all, but I just don't do it anymore. And then club promotions, which I missed on the Garden of Eden story, my friend Suck, my mentor, Suck Sung, may he rest in peace. He passed away a couple years back. He was running Garden of Eden. And I saw, this guy who had left being a Warner Brothers publicist who was crushing it to do club promotions. And I was like, why would you leave that job? And I saw his life, and I'm like, he's driving a Porsche, and he's doing this, and he's hanging out with supermodels. And I'm like, I was like, okay, I guess you can make money at this.
How does that work?
So he's like, hey, if you're thinking about moving to LA, call me. So when I came to LA, he's like, hey, we talked. I'm starting this Miami kind of promotion. You want to come work for me? And that was June of 1999. He was starting a Sunday night at House of Blues on Sunset. May that rest in peace as well.
May that rest in peace.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's right next to Dublin's too. You mentioned Dublin's.
Yeah,
earlier.
Dublin's. That's a whole nother bag. Yeah. But so he asked me to come and promote for him. And I was like, what does that mean to promote something? He's like, basically just bring hot people to nightclub. I'm like, okay, that's easy. So I just started. I looked around LA and I looked out my Thomas Guide back then, and I looked at what beaches.
Wait.
Yeah, I just
Did
said
he
Thomas
say
Guide.
Thomas Guide?
1999.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's what ruled LA back then. So I looked at my Thomas Guide, and I looked at where were all the attractive young people at: acting studios, beaches, malls, and nightclubs. So I went out 7 nights a week and 7 days a week for 3 years.
Jeez.
Wow.
How'd you get them? No. What was your pitch?
I was gonna say,
get them?
what was your
wait,
elevator
Like, yo,
sign?
I'm running.
He went out for 7 nights a week.
You probably just started
That was
salsaing into people.
I know, right? Hey,
Yeah,
let's dance.
there you go.
Hey,
Oh, you
let me
can
just
dance.
say
I'm going
this,
out.
Lester. The pitch has changed, so it's irrelevant.
The pictures changed.
Yeah,
And
you got to
honestly-
text it or
right?
or you got to go on Instagram. or-
IG.
IG, yep.
Yeah.
It was honestly, I just walked up to people and I had a yellow pad and pen, and I was like, "Hey, how are you? I'm Shawn. I'm new to LA. I'm doing a promotion at the House of Blues on Sunset. Can I grab your
Right.
number and you be my guest? Love to have you and your friends out.
Grassroots style.
Grassroots. And the first girl I walked up to, Ira, is still one of my dear friends. I walked up, there's this place on Melrose called Condomania back in 1999. There's a place called Condommania, a store
did
of
say
condoms.
condom.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did
It was
see
like a
that.
store of
Condom.
condoms, like all types of different condoms,
Yeah.
right? So here's my bold 24-year-old ass coming from Miami. There was 8 girls in that store. And I walked up to all 8 of them. I'm like, hey, I'm Shawn. I got a Sunday at the House Blues Foundation Rooms called Score Sundays, and I want you girls to come. And literally the one girl turned around, she goes, wow, you walked up to 8 girls. I'm like, yeah? And she's like, I've never seen anybody do that. Yes, we will come out tonight.
In a condom store.
In a condom store.
You know what?
I
That's
just did that.
fucking awesome.
I just did
Literally.
that.
Well, that's kind of bold, man. I like that.
So I did
Bold.
that, and it started like a landslide, you know, and it just started a thing. And that night, that girl came out, and her last name is Kaganowski, and I remembered that.
Yeah.
And I saw her, and I thought promoters always wore suits, so I wore suits every night I went to work.
Yeah.
And I see her by valet, and I'm like, "Hey, Kaganowski," and she's like, "How'd you remember my name?" Like, I'm like, "Cause we met today. You're cool." And she's like, "No one remembers that name." And literally, that started like the snowball effect of like, walk up to everybody all the time. Why not? The worst
I
you can say
love
is
it.
Yeah,
no.
you're a
I
people
love it.
person, man. You're a true people
Yeah, but
person.
it's like just
Fire.
do that, and it was fun.
Oh.
It was cool because you know sometimes
My
you got
good friend
no's.
right now,
You know sometimes you got no's. Like some people are like, no, I'm not interested. I'm like, why? I'd ask him like, why? I'm offering you like a great experience at a nightclub. Why? Oh, I just don't party. I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. Well, here's my number. If you decide you want to come out, please call me. Week later, phone will ring.
Oh.
Hey, Shawn, I met you at Melrose the time. I'm like, yeah. Oh, you're the girl that doesn't go out, right? But you want to? Okay, yeah, come on out. You know, like, and I just never took it personal. I just kept grinding. You know,
Jeez.
that's how life is, right? You got to grind, keep going. So I just kept
absolutely.
going. And just
So
said,
what's your secret sauce behind the relationship management? Like what drives you towards that? I mean,
Memory,
that's
man.
great.
Still
Well, you know what?
remember. Elephant.
I
right here.
love people. Thank you for that compliment. I appreciate that. I love people. I think people are such an adventure. Like everybody you meet has their own backstory, good, bad, ugly, whatever. And I think it's so great to like. What inspires me and drives me to know people is like, first of all, why not? Second of all, I'm always going to learn every day with everybody I meet, right? So how cool is that I get to be a person that's has an energy that's a welcoming energy, and then you open up and tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, or not. We just go out and have a drink, or whatever the conversation can be. But why not walk around your life being open like that? And at a very young age, I just decided. I made an actual choice. You know, like I decided, like, and I'll say this out in the open. I've been molested. I was molested 4 times growing up when I was 8, 9, 10, 11 by 4 different people, 3 family members and 1 mentor, a guy who mentored me.
Damn.
But I am not what happened to me, right? Like, so that thing happens, right? But I can either own it, like I own it now, or I can let it be oh my God, this thing happened to me. Oh, what was me for the rest of my life?
yeah.
No. So I choose not to play victim, but to be empowered by what happened to inspire me to go further, right? So I just, you know, it's just this beautiful thing where if I get the pleasure of meeting you, and that's the way I look at it, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Like there's some shitty people in the world. We all know that. The guy's running he's actually running the United States of America right now, right? That guy.
That guy.
That's a whole nother story. But, you know, like there's some shitty people in the world, but it's, you know, why not meet great people and connect and share and be open? And you never know where that relationship's going to go. Look at you and I. You never know.
Living proof.
This is living proof.
Yeah.
And relationships are fun to foster and build. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to have a friend for over 10 years or over 15 years. And we've grown together, you know, and you know, learned a lot about each other. How cool is that? Like, and it just takes something. It takes grassroots. Like Lester was saying, phone calls. I'm just going to call you every once in a while. Oh, now I'll just text you. Hey, Journey, thinking about you, man. How's life?
Yeah.
That's it. And people are so caught up in their head and thinking about life versus just doing life.
Yeah.
So I have a silly practice I've been doing since 2003. If I think of you, I shoot you a text. Done. I don't care where I'm like, hey, it takes 6 seconds. Hey, Lester, what's up, man? Thought about you. Whoop. That's it. It's in existence now. Now Lester knows whether he calls me that week or there's a friendship. That's building. People forget to build relationships. And I see clients. I've seen clients and really, really good friends. I've thrown thousands of birthday parties, which you've DJ'd a bunch of them.
Yes.
And how many have had 2 people and how many have had 300 people? That's a reflection of who you are in the world.
Yep.
Because if you can foster relationships, your birthday party, my birthday parties are stupid. They shut down blocks because you foster relationships. And people are really shitty at getting out of their own way and building relationships. There's nothing to lose. You being vulnerable is beautiful. You being fearless is beautiful. There's nothing, you can't be found out. And people are so afraid of being hurt.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest things these days is like, love like you've never been hurt. And so what if you've been hurt?
Yeah.
Get over it and keep it going, keep it moving. You know, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So that's just
That's
hard
deep.
over here.
I'm like, yo,
That's
I
deep.
got
That's just,
nothing else.
That's what's up. Yeah.
So that's
what we need.
yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
But that's where the relationship things. And you know what? I saw a lot of broken relationships growing up in my life. So I saw my parents' divorce was not pretty. You know, I was 6 years old and it was bad. And they were swingers back in the 70s and stuff happened and you know lies got told and shit blew up. You know, and I didn't want to have that in my life. I wanted to have great relationships. So I made a choice at 6 years old to only be great.
Yeah.
And that's it. You have a choice to either be great or suck. There's no in between. Either be great or you suck.
What 6-year-old done? Yo,
You know, like
you got a lot going on in
He's-
there, man. I'm telling you, there's so many. He came through a situation, right?
Yeah.
A very powerful statement that he made when he said that he had been molested.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice. Come on, really? So I think there's something in there. There's something in there. We flew past it, and I do want to go back to that
Let's
at
do
some
it.
point in time if we can, Journey, because I think there's people out there that really got to hear that and understand what that is and see the positivity that's coming from this man is vibrating in here. No, it's vibrating in here.
Yeah.
This is powerful. So I would love to get back to that story.
Well, I mean, we'll definitely get to it, and I think that's why we'll talk about this this piece of literature in a moment. But I have another question.
yeah, please.
You're one of my most favorite people. You know this.
Yay.
Aw.
I want to be I wanted to be like, and I still want to be like Shawn Antonio because I saw him work rooms and manage so many friendships. And I mean, you guys can see some of this in me now, but it came from this guy. Seeing him move through crowds and manage people, and also, you know, you gave me some great advice. I was in some bad relationships in Hollywood.
I remember.
You know.
Talk you off the
He's
ledge
like,
a couple
dude,
times. I'm like, come on. What are you doing?
But here's the thing, something that you didn't know. When I first came here, I moved here with a girl, right? Had a
Okay.
girlfriend. Moved here with a girlfriend. And I met you. It was probably 3 weeks after being here. And we started hanging out. You introduced me to the crew, and I was in and met everybody. My girlfriend thought I was cheating on her because I was out so much. But it was because I was managing so many friendships
Yeah, you
through
were building.
you.
Yeah.
And she thought I was cheating on her, and she left. And, you know,
That
I
ended.
just became a part of this crew of great people. Everybody's doing great things, but yeah, my first girlfriend here left me because of you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shawn Antonio breaking up relationships.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
But it got better after then.
Yes,
But
it did.
you know, I
Yeah.
attracted a certain type of girlfriend, and
You did for a while. I
Yeah,
remember
I did.
you
I
had
did.
you had a magnet for broken women. Yeah, I remember that.
I was
yeah.
trying to fix, you know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you had a magnet for broken women.
Yeah,
Captain
magnet for
Sailor
broken women.
Girl.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he has such
Next
a
on
Yeah.
big,
Raw,
beautiful
though.
heart, as you
Yeah.
you
No,
listeners know out there. Journey has
Yeah.
such a beautiful heart and
He
such a
really
big,
does.
Yeah.
giving person that
Yeah.
you know people mistake that for like, okay, I can take advantage, and I saw it, and it was
Yeah.
beautiful. You were always. I always called you out, and you always got like really stoic. You're like, "Fuck, Sean's gonna pull me aside."
Damn it. Party's going.
Come on, man. Don't settle.
Like, yeah. And then he'll find a moment like, sir, that's not cool. And, yeah, you should
Should fix that.
fix that.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Now keep DJing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now go do your
Yeah.
thing.
But thank you. And I'm sure people, you know, feel the same way because you wasn't like that with just one person. How do you manage that? How do you manage, you know, the relationships and keep the ego?
I mean, are we actually
At
going to
a-
understand that?
I never
that's
did
a lot.
understand because I
It's a
mean,
lot.
there's so many people that love you.
Yeah.
I mean, your ego should be through the roof.
Yeah.
But your ego is just so controlled.
Well, I can answer it in many ways. But, the truth is, first of all, like I said before, it's a pleasure to meet people. So
Yeah.
whether you're, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio to, you know, the guy in the street, it doesn't matter. I hold everybody at the same accord.
Yeah.
Managing relationships, I get deep and intimate fast. I mean, I've just met this room
Yeah.
/ not really. And, you know, it's like, why not be authentic off the bat? Because if I'm just showing my cards off the bat, there's nothing to hide. So either you can choose to be my friend or not. I'm this loud. I am this boisterous. I am this alive all the time. If you can't handle it, sorry, we're not meant to be friends. It's really that simple. And I'm unapologetic about that. Like, I'm never going to tone myself down for anybody.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's just how it is. So either you're in and we're going to live life and have a great ride, or good luck with that version of your life.
Yeah.
And not like it's a bad thing, but you do that. Like the famous saying, you do you, I'll do me. You know?
Yeah.
And so that always a big thing. I did have a little ego moment a couple of times. I'll out myself. So back in 1998, when I had my dance company, I was I was a slave. I was so committed. I was doing 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, building these skits. I had a Bible. I called it the Bible, and it was a Bible of skits that we had choreographed. So, every night we'd go, okay, we're doing these 8 skits. And the dancers would come in, we'd stretch, we'd go through the pieces, music, DJ, choreography, lighting, everything, right? So it was like I had my lighting guy, I had my DJ guy, and then I had the staff, like my 8 girls and me or whoever else.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working so much. One of my good friends, she called me, and I had a phone backstage. And she goes, you never pick up your phone. So I figured I'd call the backstage phone. And she was the only person that had that number. She's like, why are you at work? She's like, it's Sunday and you're dancing. I'm like, and she's like, no, unacceptable. She called me out. And she called me out because at one point we had to put security at the sides of the doors to backstage because my dancers, including myself, we were all in good shape and, fun and stuff. So we had girls sneaking backstage to because we were all getting naked backstage and chained. That's just dancer, community. And so we had stalkers popping backstage, and my ego got a little big. I was like, oh, yeah, girls love me. And I had all my friends who did dumb shit. Like, I had some of my top friends in the business who were like ecstasy dealers and used to come backstage and be like, hey, here's some drugs. I'm like, all right, let's do that. We used to go to after hours and fun stuff like that. So as a kid, and I say kid, so 21, 22, dance company making money. Ego. And my friend called me out. When she called me out, it really had me take a look at myself and check myself. And then it happened again for me in 2006. I was in the midst of my career was on fire. I was in People magazine and blah, 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 and red carpets. I was doing this place called Ledoux, which that's a whole nother thing we could talk about. But Ledoux was the hottest nightclub in Hollywood, and I had the Tuesday. And the Tuesday was the hottest night at Ledoux. Yes. So myself and Matt Gavin, who's still one of my dear friends, we had a great night. We had that. We had a place called Ritual down the block on Cahuenga. We had a place called Vanguard. I had some great spots at Wet Republic. We had some really great nights. Green Door. And man, I was, crushing it, making a couple, $100,000 a year and, right there. And, money was awesome. And I was driving the car I wanted and living the life I wanted. And just, I got a little full of myself once or twice. I one day at Ledoux, I said, let me try something. I'm going to do no work today and see how Ledoux goes. And we were packed that night. I was like, cool. Because we did the work. We did do the work. 6 months we booked out 6 months of events, and it built its own, you got the momentum, right? To where we were turning people away by the hundreds every night. But one day I just took a day off and then another Tuesday off and just showed up, and we were still packed, and you name a celebrity and they were there. And I was like, why am I doing that? It's stupid, Ego gets in the way. Ego and pride gets in the way of what you're really up to, and staying humble. I forget who told me this because I've taken so many different excerpts of people, but staying humble and having humility always opens the door for growth.
Yeah.
Always does. So if you're staying humble and you're always a student, I saw a quote from Michelangelo. Everyone knows who he is. He said, I am but a student of life. At 74 years old, he said that. The guy's like, And I just thought that's a really great way to look at life, is just always be a student and never, I actually never say my full name half the time I meet people. I'm like, I'm Shawn, nice to meet you. If I say Shawn Antonio, it's already like, you're Shawn, oh man. And they got a story. Or remember I met you back? And I usually go, yeah, I remember you, your cousin. And they go, how did you remember that? I'm like, because I remember that night. I remember what you were wearing and why you came in. And you just broke up with your girlfriend. You had this job, you were quitting. And it blows people away. It's just it's my gift,
So when I worked for you at Spider Club,
worked with me.
Yes.
True leader right there.
With you.
There it is.
Yes.
You're my teammate.
Y'all been together.
Without you, I couldn't work.
Yes.
I love it.
Who was DJing that your Spider Club party?
It was Mike Palmieri before you.
Mike Palmieri.
From Florida. I
Yes.
brought him from Florida. He
Yes.
came out and we made him a big DJ out here, so it's him.
Yes.
The rotating window was you, him, DJ Sturge. And Surge.
Yes.
And I had, what's her name? Carolina DeMore.
Yes.
Yeah, she came in and DJ'd a couple times.
Okay.
And then random celebrity DJs would come in. I remember a couple times, we had some people pop in and say, hey.
Yeah. I remember Surge, and this is how I
Surge.
got in.
Yeah.
So Surge he had something to do. He took off. And you're like, hey, Journey, could you DJ?
Yeah.
I had the evil laugh, right? He hung out for probably like 6-7 months. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my chance. He's like, hey, could you DJ? I'm like, yeah, I'll show up. It's like, finally.
Yeah.
There's a picture that's out there floating. I was standing on top of the turntables.
Yeah.
Crushing.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, when this dude comes back, he's not going to have a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
I remember
bartenders were like,
Hustling.
yo, we got to have this guy back.
Immediately.
And Shawn was like, okay.
Yeah, because
do
you
this.
you just did something revolutionary people weren't
Yeah.
doing. You had a stage show. I mean, you just did it. And that was a small DJ booth back then too.
It was.
And that was the first time in all my promotional years up to now, it's been 6 years at that point in time. None of my staff had ever come to me about a regular DJ.
Yeah.
It was always celebrity DJs. But so that was the first time like Wes came to me or, any of the bartenders were there. They're like, Shawn, who's that guy? Like, can we have him all the time? I'm like, yeah. And it just worked. You were professional. You were on point. You listened to your crowd. Forget about me. You were on time. You listened to your crowd. You didn't bitch and complain. It was great. It was a great dance. Our first dance was amazing.
It was a volcano
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just building.
Totally.
And it erupted that night.
You're waiting
and-
for your
and
time to
Yeah.
shine.
history. Yeah.
Coach
great.
Ian,
But I was
Coach.
very patient, and Shawn created that atmosphere. It's like, okay, this is what you do. Get it, but be a great person as well. And he put me in a room with some great people to be a great person. And to this day, I started a small label in New York, and I tell my artists, I'm like, be a better person than you are an artist.
I can attest to that.
Got that from
That's
you.
right.
Oh, thank you, Jen.
You
Oh,
taught
that's
me
where
how to
you
be a
got it.
person. Yes,
Good stuff.
absolutely. Because I thought talent was everything.
So
I'm
is-
like, I'm gonna move to LA. I'm talented. This, that, and the other. Shawn was like,
Stop that.
be a great person.
Goes back to the ego
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
You gotta manage that.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter how talented you are.
Yep.
I mean, it's dope to see. Like saying, because I met Journey, more than 6,
Man,
almost no, like more than a year ago.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. 2 years.
Yep.
But seeing where he gets his leadership skills and how he puts teams together and just makes things happen. It's dope to kind of see where some of it comes from. It's dope. It's
Oh,
really
you.
dope to see.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice.
How are you?
It's funny because I knew you always listened, but it's great to see that you listened, applied it, and actually made a change in your life. That's what I live for.
Here's the thing. Why I went to New York, and this is not about me, but why I went to New York because, you were already all over LA, and I'm like, man, I need a launch pad to take this information and try it out. And LA was all you.
Yeah.
And I went to New York and tried the same thing, to be a great person, to put together teams and stuff like that, to work with as many people as possible. And I took that information that you gave me and applied it there and became super successful.
Yeah.
And it was because of you.
Yeah.
Which brings me to
Thank you.
Landmark. Tell me about that, like that whole experience, because I was there doing the ceremony, graduation.
Yeah.
Dad was there and stuff
Totally.
like that. And just a little bit about
No
Landmark.
worries.
Before you
before we
get
go
into
to
that,
Landmark,
let
yeah.
people know what Landmark is.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Just so they
Well,
know.
before you go to Landmark, I just want to acknowledge you for taking that on and growing and going to New York and challenging yourself to be a better human. Yes. More
It
people
was
need to do
nothing
that.
about
That's
DJing.
amazing.
It was about
I watched the
human
whole
being,
journey.
yeah.
I watched and I stayed on top of it. And kudos to you for doing that. Just throwing your hat over the fence and going for it.
Thank
So,
you. Thank
yeah,
you.
my
for
pleasure. It's
motivating
great.
that.
Yeah. Landmark.
This is weird. I know. Bear
No,
with
it's
us.
dope. It's
Surreal,
all
huh?
good.
This
with
is
us.
awesome too.
So yeah, guys,
It's getting warm in here.
I know. I'm
it's the
sweating,
electricity.
man. I don't have on any pants. So
So yeah, I'll share a little bit about Landmark. So it's a company called Landmark Education. Landmark Education's a global company, and what they do, they're all about transformation. And the simple truth for them is it's all about you putting your past in your past. I mean, that's the easiest blanket conversation I can talk about with them. So back in 2003, and I'll share a little bit about that and not get too crazy, but back in 2003, living in LA, crushing it, doing great events all night. I lived with a guy who was my roommate at the time. And for the first time ever, I've been living with him for about 3 years. And for the first time ever, he came home one morning. I ran into him in our kitchen, and he goes,
Yeah.
for the first time ever, he goes, Shawn, how are you? Something that simple. He had never said to me. And I was like, what do you mean, how am I? Like, that's not what do you want? Like, I was like, you're not this nice. You're kind of a dick, you know?
Right.
And, so he asked me how I am. I'm like, yeah, I'm great. How are you? And, he goes, yeah, I'm amazing, man. I just did this course, it's called the Landmark Forum, is the class that Landmark Education offers. And a Landmark Forum is a 3-day course where you deal with yourself in a way you never have. You deal with all your stuff, you uncover your stuff. It's a course that's set up for exercises and things that happen throughout the course that have you uncover all the truths, the mistruths, the stories, and the stuff. And you get back to zero. So when I saw, this normally angry, shut down roommate of mine be super open and whatnot, I was like, hey man, what is that? And he goes, yeah, I found out that, my father never told me he loved me. So I grew up in a loveless relationship with him. He always did love me, but he just never said that. Right. So I looked for validation all throughout my life, and ching, something went off for me. I had daddy issues, and my mom and dad got divorced when I was 6, as I said earlier. And my daddy issues were I never got to know my dad after 6 because there was this fight between my mom and dad, and there was a lot of stuff happening there. Yeah. So I had a lot of anger built up, and I was like, he's like, hey man, I'm going to my graduation on Tuesday. I'm like, what's graduation? So I went to it, and oh man, never forget this. The guy that was sitting in front of me was my head of security for Ivar, the nightclub at that point in time. Yes. Ivar, I had a Friday night. DJ AM was my resident DJ at the time. May he rest in peace as well. Yes. I hate saying that. So many people are just taking off. So AM was my DJ. Aoki was one of our other DJs, and now Steve's crushing the world. Yeah. He my head of security, Anton, turns to me and says, and he had never talked to me. 4 months of doing Ivar. I would run the meetings. We walk in, hey Shawn, here's what's happening tonight. Prince is coming. This person's coming. Go team, let's go. Everybody go to work. He would never say hi to me. I'd walk up to McCann, Anton, I see, and he'd be like, just give me like a nothing. He turned around and said, hey Shawn, what are you doing here, man? Oh my God, I had this crazy breakthrough with my dad. And I'm like, oh wow, I got massive daddy issues. I don't want to really talk about it, but like that. Right. And him turning around to me, and I think my face was wide open, like, oh my God, he's talking to me. After he finished his sentence of daddy issues and stuff, his wife was a bartender at one of our events place too, Deep back in the day. Yep. Made that place rest in peace as well. I literally got up and signed up to the course. And in Landmark, you just deal with yourself. And it inspired me to really be a better person, you know, and stop carrying so much luggage. And one of the things I say in my book we're about to talk about is, leave your luggage at the door. Yeah. And we end up picking up luggage that doesn't belong to us in life. Mm. We do. We pick it up.
Heavy.
That's powerful. That's
deep. It's I came up with that recently. It's like we pick up luggage that doesn't belong to us because of culture, race, religion, whatever it is. I mean, you guys heard my background. I had a bunch of different luggage from all over the world with stickers and everything, why not get back to that pure place of before you fell down or got hurt or got your heart broken? And in that course, I fell in love with myself for the first time again. Yeah,
I saw the change, and it was scary for us as friends to see you go through that change because you're kind of weird. You get from this to I don't know if I should be that. Yeah. It was like this weird change that we all saw, and I had to go to the place to see about it. I'm like, you invited me out. It's like, my 3-day course. I'm like, I gotta go see what's up. And I'm like, who's pulling the energy away from my friend? I was ready. It was an investigation.
I could see that. A lot of my friends came with that conversation. Like, what happened to my friend Shawn? Why is he not this raw anymore? Yeah. Why is he so serene? And it was a lot of my friends came. I had a friend.
Reset.
I had a friend walk out. Yeah. I had a friend go, what did you bring me to? This is crazy. I'm leaving, and left. He's still one of my great friends, but he left. He was pissed at me for like a month. Yeah. Because he was like, why is everybody so happy? This doesn't work for me. Everyone's so happy in here. What's going on? And
probably
he left.
thought it was a cult.
Yeah, he literally.
That's what I thought. I'm like, you're taking over the Hollywood kids. It's like, they.
Yeah. What? I just got to a place I'd never been to before, and it was just really beautiful to see where all my anger came from and all my stuff came. I started playing drums because I was mad, not because I liked drums. I was mad at my dad, so I started beating stuff up, and it just happened to be drums.
Jeez.
Well, it could have been worse.
It could have been, yeah. And some of the kids I actually mentor now or talk to now and, speak to, they're beating stuff up, not beating drums. So trying to get them to beat drums,
This led to the book?
That's a whole nother story. This is a recent conversation. The book I got yelled at by a lot of my friends, including Journey, about putting my words into a book. And I was too busy running and chasing and I won't say chasing. I was too busy being stuck in the machine of my own business. You know, I was running all these nightclubs. I was good. Why would I need to stop at doing that? I was phenomenal, killing it, and had everything I wanted. Why would I write a book? Wait till I get old. You know, the whole bucket list. Wait till write a book about your life. But a lot of my friends were like, I started seeing a lot of my friends be in pain. A lot of my friends were in a lot of pain and always coming to me for coaching and asking me how I was so happy all the time. And I started feeling a lot of their pain, you know, very empathetic as a person. And I started seeing, you know, and then unfortunately some suicides happened and people overdosed, and it became normal for me to see that in my world. And it really kind of inspired me to sit down and just make that book happen. And it took everything in me to write that book, because I was in a very challenging place when that book came to what it became and what it is today. So it took me being unselfish and being selfless. And that book isn't about me. I just wrote it, but it's not about me. It's about you and everybody else in the world having the life they want.
Yeah.
That's it.
Give us a title. Give us a title so the people out there can hear it.
Yeah, the book is called Be the Beast You Are. And it is a book that I wrote. We released it on July 20th. It's part of the Finding Your Fire series. And Be the Beast You Are is exactly that. It's the book that unleashes your true beast. We all forget that we have that inside of us, and we play small in life, and we run from ourselves, or we get in our own way, or we self-sabotage, or we make bad choices on purpose, or we don't live in our true greatness, or we make excuses or circumstances or this person, or we, you know, it's always blaming somebody else, you know? And one of the books I'll be writing in this series is it's not them, it's you.
Yeah.
And we forget to look at ourselves. And one of the reasons why my relationship with my wife of 5 years, Alicia, is so successful is because I always look at myself first as to what I did to cause the upset versus pointing the finger and like look at what there is. I recently heard a really cool quote that goes, and you'll love this, kid. The quote is, it's not my quote, but it's a brilliant quote. And it's, discover the anger behind the anger. So you know when you get mad about something?
Surface.
It's usually surface, but then underneath it is the real anger. So where is that anger really coming from? And you know, what is it stemming from? What is it? You know, and it's powerful to look at that.
You're touching this guy's heart.
Ooh, call
here.
on me.
Please.
Call on me. Yo, okay, so I read the little notes and I found out about the book, right? And once again, Journey just hold it up, right? So the book is mad slim.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But then I say that for a reason, because what you're talking about, it could go on for days and days and days. But you set it down in real specifics. That's powerful in itself. So how did you condense it all?
Well,
It's
into
like
one?
Cliff. It's like Cliff
It's
Notes
like Cliff
on
Notes,
life.
but it's on point.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
thank you.
So-
Thank you
Yeah.
for that. It was intentional. I realized that the attention span of us, all of us in this room, including the millennials, including the older people in our generation, technology is taking over. Look at all our phones. They're all
We
out.
need him. That's the 12th dude on the team. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead.
No, yeah,
you don't
but-
have no idea what I'm talking
okay.
about. He knows.
Please.
Okay, go ahead.
But you know, I noticed
Talking about.
we've all become slaves to our technology.
Yeah. Yes.
And I know that I've watched people just watching, which I'm bad at watching. I've learned how to be more like and watch and become a better listener. My wife has coached me, and I'm that guy now. And I see people on their phones, and they're just like this. Then I watch a documentary. I forget the name of the documentary, but they said the average person spends 5 hours a day on their phone. That blew me away. I was like,
That's a
wow,
lot of- that's almost
a lot of
that's
time, right?
almost a full work day.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I probably
Right?
spent more.
So I intentionally made the book.
more?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and for my work, I justified it. I work, so I'm constantly working. But why I made it mad slim is to keep your attention and make sure that every bite in that book is triggering some other emotion, conversation, or thing, whether it's real for you or not. So I wanted to make it slim, so it's approachable, not intimidating. I made it red. We made it red. My wife designed the cover. She made it red to catch your attention.
Does.
Yeah.
Catch your attention. The title is like, who wouldn't want to be a beast? Like, who's gonna look at that book and say, no, I'm good? You know, everybody has that beast in them. So I made it approachable. I made it bite-sized. I call it a bite-sized bitch slap.
I'll take that.
It's a bite-sized bitch slap. It's like, wake up. It's a
got an
wake-up
appetite.
call, you know? So I wanted to make it applicable to your life now. Like I was saying earlier, and Kat and I were talking, it's like, make that someday today.
Yeah.
And then Be the Beast You Are. There's words and phrases that speak to you in there that might be applicable to your life right now. I don't know all my readers, but I know that that'll capture a vast span of what's happening in the world. So I wanted to make it approachable. That book can be read in half hour. That's what I wanted.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I wanted.
That's
And
my
You
type of
have
book.
no reason
I
not
was
to go
reading it
get the
during the
book
commercial break.
and put it into your library.
And
You have
it's
no
the kind
reason.
of book you don't want to put down. And you get the most common feedback I've gotten recently was my friends are like, one complaint, I want more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because then I give you the next chapter, and the next book coming out is called Having Amazing Relationships. And that's about having amazing relationships in all parts of your life, every single one of them. How
Yeah.
delicious would life be if you had all your relationships operating on full blast? Can you imagine
Yeah.
that? Like, just think about that concept for a second.
That's true richness right there.
Like, can you imagine that, right? We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
But like, I wanted it
Yeah.
to be slim. And when I first got it as a proof, the wife and I got it, right? He came, mailman came, I'm like, my first book. He's like, congratulations. I'm like, yes, right? And I pulled it out and I was like, oh, it's kind of slim. But, and I'm the author and I'm like, it's kind of slim, but perfect. Okay, cool. And we looked through it and it just made sense. I don't want you to spend days working. I want you to spend 20 minutes on that book and make your life awesome tomorrow.
As a consumer, I appreciate that because
That's what I was about to say,
I love
especially for
to. I like to read sometimes, but I have the shortest attention span, and I hate having to read something 3 times in order for it to stick. Like, to me, you kind of
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly the frame of mind I wanted to approach it. Make it approachable, easy, and applicable. That's the most important thing because motivational books and self-help books, they're great, right?
Yeah.
But do people actually apply them to their lives? Most people, it's like a diet. It's like people go on diets
Right.
and they lose the weight, then they
30
gain it back.
days.
That book is meant for you to actually ingest, take with you to your office, keep in your car. One of our mechanic uses it. He keeps it at work and uses it to deal with his customers.
Let's talk about those chapters.
Yes.
The titles.
a lot.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so first title. This is heavy.
Yeah.
This is heavy.
Are we doing
Letting outside circumstances define you.
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
Well, we in life use excuses, stories, circumstances to define how we live our lives. So in that chapter, I gave a couple examples about how that is.
Yeah.
I think I used a flat tire as an example in that one. We tend to blame things for why we're not being great in life. We tend to use our lack of action based on our insecurities, based on our self-doubt or not believing in ourselves. We tend to let those things get in the way of us just taking action.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing I've learned in my life as far as, from billionaires I've met and spent time with to, the guy on the street. I've spent some time talking to homeless people on the street, asking them why, what happened, how'd you end up there? But I've learned so much from humanity. And one of the things that we forget most is just to take action and, take that fear and use that fear to motivate you. Use that anger to motivate you to prove it to yourself. Forget about proving it to your mom or dad or anybody out there or, fuck that person who didn't believe in me. Forget about all that. Look inside yourself because it's always within us to have what we want in life.
Yeah.
So circumstances are everything. Circumstances are the blame. They're the excuses that I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
A common phrase these days is I don't feel like adulting today, and I'm like, why not? Like, what are you not doing in your life that has you not want to be an adult? It's awesome. Like you woke up this morning well, not sick, not dying of cancer, not, able-bodied. So what's your excuse, So that chapter is designed to have everyone take a look at what circumstances you allow on a daily basis to stop you from being the best version of yourself you can be.
No.
That's it.
Okay. So chapter 2, human noise. We all have it.
Yeah, that little man dancing around your head or that little girl dancing around your head, that voice, that self, it's usually based in fear, past, or insecurities, or just some other version of that. We second guess ourselves. Meanwhile, we have this great gift that the gods gave us, whatever you believe in, Buddha, Allah, God, whoever. We have this awesome inherent gift of like knowing that we can do this, but we second guess ourselves. And that second guessing is where we fall down because we're not actually listening to our hearts or listening to our minds or listening to ourselves. We're actually so stuck in listening to something else. Or like I'll never do that again because last time I did that, this happened. No, last time you did that happened because that was the outcome.
Right.
Next time you do that, it's going to be different. And next time you do that, it's going to be different. It's the same shit, different day. Somebody said to me the other day, one of my friends, I was like, hey man, how are you? He's like, oh, same shit. He's like, SSDD. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, same shit, different day. I'm like, no, how is it the same shit? Just different shit. It's a different day. You're a day older. There's that, right?
Right.
So it's the human noise is that thing, that self-doubt, that fear, that not trusting yourself. I have a tattoo on my hand that says never settle. And my other one says trust yourself. That was a reminder for me to trust myself, because I know that inherently I know what's best for me, right? And if I fall down, great, rock and roll, I'll still learn a lesson. But what if you succeed? What if you win, you know? And that's juicy. It's the deliciousness of life. You said deliciousness earlier, and I heard that. It's like, how cool would it be if you just trusted yourself and just did life every day? Just did that. Like without fear. Or acknowledging the fear, like, hey, fear, that's really cute. Thanks for showing up. I'm gonna go ahead and put you in a corner and keep it moving, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just powerful. Keep it moving. Don't listen to that little voice. That little voice is annoying. It's just constantly challenging you to not be great.
Yeah. Which brings me into the next chapter, 3, feeding the beast.
Yeah. Once you discover whatever your beast is, and the version of beast is whatever that is for you. I had a friend of mine tell me, for her, it was the Holy Spirit. So she read my book and she replaced be the beast with be the Holy Spirit. And that works for her, right? Yep. It's whatever your beast is, and feeding it is feeding whatever it is, whether it's knowledge or getting something as simple as weight, taking care of your weight and taking care of your body and honoring yourself and being the best version of yourself weight-wise that you can be.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning up all those conversations, you know, all those incomplete conversations that you can think about right now, like you're incomplete with your dad or mom or sister or ex-girlfriend. All those unsaid things, when you feed your beast healthy things and you're constantly feeding your body and brain healthy things that grow you, it's inevitable that you're going to be great. It's just inevitable because you're always feeding it with just greatness. Why would you feed it with shit? We all know if we're going to eat McDonald's or if we're going to eat like tender greens, right? Yeah, it's just feeding the beast is just taking that, what's out there that you want to add to your game, your arsenal of who you are as a human, and just keep doing that every day, all day. But take a step. You know, some people take 10 steps. That's me. Some people take 1 step. Some people take a half step. But just do something. Just do something.
Right.
So feed your beast.
Okay. 4th chapter, unleashing the beast.
Yep. Once you find your beast, whatever that beast is for you, let it go, man. You know, I saw a quote that said, live your life like someone left the gate open. It's not my quote, but I saw that and I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like live your life like someone left the gate open. So unleashing your beast is exactly that. If, you know, we've all seen it in movies, the gate gets open and the beast comes out, but what version of that is that going to be? Are you going to be like the movie Lucy, like Scarlett Johansson, using 100% of your, right? Imagine if we all used 100% of ourselves every day. How empty would the cemeteries be? How empty would the world, how cool would the world be if we all did our dreams and accomplished them? Like, my goal is to run out of my bucket list items by like 50. Like, I want to be, I'm like 50, on my 50th birthday, I'm like, oh, man, I jumped out of a plane, I did that. Okay, cool, what's next? Like, but we wait, you know? Yeah. So that's where that comes from.
Wow. Which 5, which I know you got more and more chapters that's coming out because this is a book series, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay. Living in your beast.
Yeah. Ownership. That's the easiest way I can put it. Ownership. Yeah. It's like when I walk in here, not that that's, we talked about ego and pride earlier. Yeah. I own that I'm Shawn Antonio and I've done this crazy life and I am this powerful person, right? So when you own who you are, your talents, your gifts, and not like ego, I'm not talking from a place of human ego or pride. Yeah. When you own yourself and you have ownership of who you are in the world and the difference that you are, all you can do is keep adding to yourself, you know, and keep growing yourself. So it is just ownership of yourself and having that be a part of your daily life and being the, you know, I said it earlier, being the best version of yourself. Why not be epic every day? Yeah. That'd be cool, right? If you were just epic, you woke up, you were stoked to wake up, you ran to brush your teeth, you ran to get in your car and go and live life. How cool would that be? Most people don't wake up like that. Yeah. But, you know, I happen to be one of those really annoying people that wakes up and I'm like, yeah, life, woo, you know? Yes. And my wife is like, babe, stop. She's not a morning person.
I need coffee first, and then the beast comes out.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so that's it. Ownership of self, man. We all have beautiful gifts to give, and we all forget that we all are a part of this thing we call planet Earth. And why not be great and give and love and let people in? Let people in. It's fun.
Shawn for president.
Yes, please.
Shawn for president.
Absolutely.
Let people in. It's really fun because then they get to know you, and then you get to know them, and then you get to have a great friendship or a romantic relationship or whatever it looks like, and you get to have that. Yeah. That's really cool.
So I have to say this, Shawn. After reading the book and knowing you, I thought that your life has been this whole case study, whole entire case study. And all the people that were in your life and that is in your life, all the friends, were a part of this case study, you know, to build this literature. And we were in Vegas, right? It was on your birthday. It was around your birthday. And I had to go. Like every day we would wake up to a shot of Jaeger.
Yep.
Shots of Jaeger. And on the third day, I think, I'm like, I got to go home. I'm going to die in Vegas if I don't go home. But you asked me a question. It's like, hey, if you were an animal, what would you be? Like, I would be a mongoose because I eat snakes. Mm-hmm. And we all had animal names.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. This is a part of that. I read that book and I'm like, okay, all right, cool. He's embracing the animal. We're embracing the animal that's in us.
Yeah.
Like we're in the jungle, we're eating, we're trying new things, we're getting lost, we're getting found, and we're tribing up and everything like that. I've always felt that way. So this book to me has been this case study for all of us. And at the end of this book is a bunch of names. It's like all the friends. I'm reading all the acknowledgments of these friends. I'm like, wow, I know that person. I know that person. T-Pain's in there. Just so many people, man. And I know everyone. And I can barely talk about this now, man. Like I said, I'm a little bit nervous right now because, dude, I'm in there.
Yeah.
And I thank you for this. But there's a lot of other people that's in there, and they're animals.
Yeah.
They're animals.
Well, you know why you're in there, though,
Eating
right?
lives.
You know why you're in there.
No, tell me.
Yeah, because you're a fellow animal. Journey, you came
Yeah.
from Chicago, walked up to one of the most powerful people in Los Angeles at that point in time, introduced yourself, challenged yourself to be greater, went and did that. Then you performed completely fearlessly, locked yourself into a residency at one of the hottest clubs in Hollywood with a guy you just barely met. And you grew every time. And every time you got better. Every time you DJ'd for me, shit you not, you were better than the time before. You were just always better. That's beautiful. So I put you in that book not only because of that, you as a person, but my village. I call that my village. The acknowledgments is my village of people that I've spent a lot of my moments with this year specifically. And we had a moment last year when we connected again, and it was just like, when I see you, it's like seeing home. Like I look at you and I'm home again. Yeah. And there's just this safety net of intimacy and beauty. And that's why you're in there. And all those names in different facets of my life fulfilling something that inspired me to cry tears of joy.
Yeah.
So my village is in that book. And it took me about 4 days to get all of it and like not miss.
It's a lot of names.
Not miss. There's 563 names in there. And there was a couple people I missed. But they get it, like, you know, but yeah, I just thought it was, why not acknowledge the people who gave me the inspiration to sit down and write that book?
I think that this is a template for everyone to live their life. It's basically a setup for you to live your life. If you're not doing some of these things that are in this book, you need to start doing it, and you need to start looking at your circle of friends as these givers to your life, and you to become this leader, and you to become this person that is here for a reason. That's here to better the situation, the earth, the giving back, and everything like that. And you nailed it, man. You nailed it.
Thank you. It took digging deep and going, to listening to my soul, quieting that human noise.
Yeah.
And going for really what was needed in the world. I want everybody to have a life that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, my life's cool, I'm okay. I want you to wake up and look at your life and go, yes, like I'm winning at my life. Like, how cool would that be for everybody to have that? So and that's why I call it an approach to living your life fully. It's not, hey, do this and your life will be awesome. No, everything in there is not an order. It's an opportunity to look at your life and say, am I doing that or am I not?
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just an honest look. And it's just my take on a lot of different faiths and things I've studied and human behavior and a case study of the 3.2 million people I've met in the past 18 years living in Los Angeles. And it's everything. And I've heard a lot of it. And I haven't heard it all, but I've heard a lot of it. And a lot of those, you know, a lot of the things I put in that book will help heal those things. And not only heal them, but complete them. Because one thing to heal, and sometimes people heal and still hold on. It's different to heal and complete it. So it no longer has a hold of you. Like I said earlier, how I got molested, it doesn't have a hold on me. I say it like it's nothing. It's like, hey, what are you having for breakfast? I'm having molestation. You know, like it's not like, you know, it's a normal thing. Grits. Yeah, but aside of more, you know, this, but it's just the ownership of your journey, man. And it's perfect that I'm speaking to DJ Journey.
So come to our question. All of our guests on the show always answer this question because we feel like everyone that we get the pleasure to interview, they have something special. What's your superpower?
I got the one that I keep getting told I have is my memory. It's the ability to, it's my memory with a big dash of relatability, like being intimate with people. I like to be intimate straight off the bat. Just because why not? Why not just cut all the, you know, the casual how's your life? One of the things that I always did in my career, I think you might have witnessed it a couple hundred times, was don't tell me what you do, tell me who you are.
Yes.
Like, I don't care what you do. That's cool. You drive a Bentley, you live around, don't give a shit. Who are you? And you know how many people actually answered that? Like 5% of people had an answer.
Yeah.
Out of all the thousands upon, I still ask that question. I'm like, don't show me your business card. Don't tell me what you do. Tell me who you are.
Yeah.
And it stumps people.
Question. Yeah.
Yeah, it stumps people because that's the opportunity we have, is to design who we are, not what we, because what we do is, you know, we do certain things we get jobs, right? We get jobs and careers and we do it. And it's, sometimes we're really doing what we want, but most people, you ask them how's their job and they're not doing what they really want. They're just doing it because it's money, or they're comfortable, or they're supposed to do it, or their parents said be a doctor, so you're a doctor. Yeah, none of that matters. What matters is who you are in the world and the impact that you are. And everybody has a chance to be the impact. Everyone who's been remembered in history, who we celebrate today, from Gandhi to Mother Teresa to Frida Kahlo to everybody you can name, from, you know, Rumi to all the people I put in my book, they always broke the rules and made up their own rules and figured it out. So why are we sitting here as a society trying to follow rules?
Love it.
Why are we doing that? Love it. You know, create your own rules, create your own destiny, create your own path, make your own journey.
Yes.
You know, choose who you're going to be every day, and don't let life happen at you. I always ask people, instead of, oh, how's life treating you? No, how are you treating your life? Simple. How are you treating your life? It's not about how life is treating you, because life's always going to come at all of us. You know, the Uber experience today, you know, like things that happen, you know, things happen. Life's going to happen, but who are you in the matter?
Dope.
Yeah. So my superpower, and you know why?
That's what it is.
You know why my superpower is that? Because everybody matters. Everybody matters. Yeah. Every single person, all of you matter. The homeless person on the street matters. Everyone has something to contribute. So why would I be such an asshole? This is the way I look at it. Why would I be such an asshole to not remember that?
Thanks.
For me, it's disrespecting the moment. Right. I just met somebody, and like, you know, unless it's like, for me, I've definitely had some moments where I've lapsed, and my wife laughs at me. She's like, aha, you forgot somebody first time in like 5 years. You know, but it's like, everyone does matter, and everyone can make a difference if they choose to. So
that's cool, man.
You know,
that's what's up. I mean, this is the first time I met you, but it definitely doesn't feel that way.
No,
I feel like I've known you, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was awesome to have you here and speak your wisdom, and I already feel like you're my primo or something. You know what I mean? Right on, man.
Yeah.
So
Juntos.
Yeah, Juntos.
No, juntos.
Not cajones.
I tried, man. Can't get this guy to understand anything.
So Lester, you can ask Shawn what's next in Spanish. What's next up?
A ver, ¿qué sigue para ti?
Lo que sigue próximo va a ser, el próximo libro va a ser un libro diseñado para que tenemos unas relaciones que sean pero inmensos, que sean impactos, que sean, que disfrutamos, que cada segundo sea pero delicioso, ¿no? En inglés se llama Having Amazing Relationships. Es como tener
good. You're doing that part.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to translate. I was like, all right, hold on. Repeat.
So es una conversación. It's a conversation about having, you know, all your relationships be amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't mention this, but all guys out there listening, first of all, thank you for your attention, guys. It's great to to be on the show with these amazing people. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at The Fire Series. So The Fire Series. You'll see all of my Instagram stuff, all my daily posts. I post daily. And also on my Instagram, all the pictures are actually my photography. So I'm actually a photographer. So I took quotes from Be the Beast You Are, which you may or may not know. Took quotes from Be the Beast You Are. And from July 1st to August 31st, all the quotes on those pictures are from the book. And they're my photography as well. So you get a little, double-edged sword about it. But having amazing relationships is the next one, just because
the next series.
Yeah, it's Defining Your Fire series. I haven't decided how big the series is going to be. It could be 20 books. It could be 11 books for my 11s because my numbers. It could be, I don't know. I'm allowing the public to decide how that's going to go. The wife and I talked about our idea about it, but having amazing relationships it's a need. That book is needed. That book is needed for.
And when
more than ever right
will
now.
we be able to, when will we be able to get on that?
September 20th.
Oh, it's
That's
coming
what we're
out
doing. We're
September
doing
20th.
every 2 months. So every 2 months.
That's awesome.
We started July 20th. So Alicia and I talked about it. Wife and I, she's my publisher, my best friend, my everything. She's my unicorn. She's just everything. She's my oxygen. Without her, I can't breathe.
I like
so there's
that.
that.
He calls you a
amazing.
unicorn, so
Shout
that's
out.
awesome.
She's
Right
just
there.
badass. Next to every great man stands a great woman.
Absolutely.
So there she is. But yeah, we decided why not give you 2 months because they're quick reads, right? So you read the book and you go, oh my God, what's the next book? Okay, cool. Ooh, do I want to read Yeah, I want to have amazing relationships. Okay, September 20th, boom, but. And I want to make this an opportunity for people to just grow every couple months, look at other aspects of their lives. So I'm going to start after the second book. I think what we're going to do is take a poll and see what people want next. I'm going to say, do you want this book or do you want this book?
Photography book.
Yeah, I'm
Combined
totally going
with-
to do that. Yeah.
This.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do
When you talked about your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really, really proud of it. I'm like, when you're proud of yourself, that's how I feel about my life right now. Like, mom and dad, yeah, you're proud of me. I'm proud of me.
Yeah.
And I think we forget to be proud of ourselves sometimes. Like, I'm
very
actually
true.
really proud of myself. Like, I'm like, oh man, you were a dancer and then you did events. Now you're an author. What the, but if somebody's doing it out there, why can't I do it? Right?
Yeah.
But I took the steps. I did the homework. I took the steps. I was like, oh, fear showed up, but now I'm going to do it. Now my friends that, used to party and do shots of Jägermeister in Vegas with me are now
I got
getting their lives changed by a book.
Yeah.
And as you said,
Powerful.
yeah, you said it's me in a book, and it's just, I want everybody, and it sounds crazy. I know people, world peace, but I want everybody to have the opportunity to have an amazing life.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Thank you. Thank you. He just-
Yeah.
bless us
Gracias.
with that.
So we
Gracias.
got to have you
Yeah.
back. Every time you have a book,
Yes.
Yes.
got to come back to explain
Love
it.
to. Be
Because
honored.
this is a platform, and Trip Digital Radio, sound, art, and expression. This is all about expression. And there's an art form to it as well. You come from the arts, and now you're in the literary, but it's all based on expression. And I just want to thank you for coming.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for blessing.
This has been a beautiful night.
You can feel the bromance. You can feel the
Yeah.
bromance.
There's a whole lot of romance.
We're gonna have a
Man
cuddle
crush
puddle.
right here.
Guys, truly thank you for your time. You guys are great. I'm really inspired by the fact that this book is now something that people can take with them to grow their lives.
Yes.
It's like watering the plant.
Go and get it.
Yeah.
And where can
Check
they
it
find
out.
it? Is it just on Amazon or is
It's
it
on Amazon right now. It's on
Okay.
Kindle as well.
Okay.
Amazon's our business partner, so you can find it on Create Space. You can also go to bookstores. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I got
one,
mine off
yeah,
of
one of the
Amazon.
things, one of the things that we're doing in traditional bookstores, you can go to the bookstore and say, hey, I want to order Be the Beast You Are, and they can order you copies. So that's cool. The digital age, people like to just order online and it comes to your house. So we try to make it simple and accessible. So small, easy, simple, accessible, applicable. I wanted to make it easy for you, empowering for you to have the best life you want now. I don't want you to have that next week. I want it like now. So here's a book. Then you wake up, you go, oh my God, I want to do that today. And you just do that. So, yeah. So Amazon's the biggest platform because they're a pretty small company, So if we use them, but that's what we're going with now. In the future, we might change up some things, but for now, that's our partner.
So you're gonna come back and talk about relationships next time.
Yeah, that's always a good one. That's always a good one.
Fun, interesting one.
Yeah.
Complex.
And next time I want to hear more from you guys as far as I want to hear what that dance looks like for you guys at that point in time in your lives. Like, how are your relationships and where are they and how are you treating them and how are
that
you,
part.
Yeah, that
Yes,
part.
yes,
He
yes.
is, you are the guests.
Yeah,
You're
no.
gonna
I'm all
talk to
about creative
us.
Yeah,
relationships.
Emrauz, we want to hear about your
Yeah,
relationship.
your relationships. It's gonna be on
What's up with that?
Emrauz.
I love you guys. That's my relationship.
But just to give you a little tidbit, the first chapter is relationship with self. It's the first one.
Yeah.
Defines
Self.
all
So
relationships.
many
So-
people don't know themselves.
So self
yeah.
is the first one, and that's a big chunky one. I'm trying to make it decently chunky so you get that. That is the exact how you treat yourself is how a lot of your relationships are defined.
Yeah.
Can be. Not like it is, but like it can be.
telling the truth
So
right here.
yeah,
baby.
there's a lot of,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. It's been fun.
Jeez.
This is a
Okay,
ball of
people.
energy right here, man. It's cat.
You heard it here first. Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression.
Awesome.
We're signing off with Shawn Antonio, but we'll be back. What's up, world? It's your man, DJ Journey. I want to say thanks for watching this video. But first, you gotta like this video. And then after liking it, you gotta subscribe because we want to keep this coming to you. We get more interesting.